It just doesn't exist. It's almost like against the law to do that. So hey everyone, welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and this podcast is a random hodgepodge of topics that gets released on every Tuesday on, your preferred platform, of course. And I really enjoy sharing my personal stories and making those connections with you guys and just really being relatable, all in a fun and silly environment. Okay, friends, how many of you are afraid to speak up during certain situations or think, it's just not worth saying anything because you don't want conflict? Or maybe you're on the other side of this and actually are always speaking up when you're out and about, maybe with friends or maybe just by yourself, because you know it needs to be voiced. Yeah, I think we can all attest to these kinds of situations, types of experiences. So stick around to listen to this. I mean, you gotta fit in here somewhere, am I right? It's those little moments that occur when you're running an errand, especially now that we're getting back into doing more things where, we are encountering people and having those interactions again, and amen, right? Coming out of COVID with all these conflicts, watch out. And just, grabbing coffee, going out to dinner. Maybe you're getting some brunch, getting your nails done again, all these kinds of things. Going to a brewery, you know how I love my breweries. And now, more than ever, you're getting your hair cut. So all of these kinds of areas, familiar areas that you're going to more on a regular basis now, uncomfortable types of situations come up, whether you like it or not. It does. So I'm talking about when, of course, some of those examples that I was just kind of sharing with you, but you're going to a coffee shop, maybe you're just going to Dunkin', but regardless, you're getting a cup of coffee. Or maybe now you're getting your iced coffee. It's getting a little bit warm out, guys. Love it. And now you're either driving away or walking back home. And then you realize something isn't right with your drink. Yeah. It doesn't taste right. They said there's going to be coconut in it. I don't taste any coconut. I feel like I have this problem a lot. Anything that some kind of ingredient that sticks out to me, and I'm wow, I think I'm going to get that because it has coconut in it or because it has cinnamon in it or whatever it is. And then you get it. I was like, I don't taste any of this. They lied. False advertising. So then it's the point where, okay, you either got my order wrong, or maybe it is right, but they only add a little bit of flavoring. Or maybe you like milk in your coffee and it's bad and you're drinking moldy ass coffee. At that point, you definitely want to go back, right? You really want other people to get sick? No, ma'am. Because that sort of thing, that's kind of the larger picture. And then I think, oh shit, how many other people have they sold this to? And you see people just like dropping like flies on the sidewalk because they're walking home now from the same coffee shop. Maybe someone, to your left or right, you're in your car and now they're like keeled over in the seat because they're getting sick from the same coffee that you just ordered. Like, people, this is huge. This is why you need to speak up. Speak up. But yeah, and one actually came to mind, and we'll go to Edge, the street in Plymouth meeting, and I remember getting a protein shake. This was like pre-COVID, so, and yeah, it was one of those things where it had like, I think it was like almond flavoring or something in it, and coconut. I was like, oh yeah, like this sounds great, loving it, like I'm ready. And then I got it and I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, is there any coconut flavoring in here? Or did you pretend to put some in and you just like faked that pump, right? Pump on that syrup or whatever you're using back there. And I asked because I thought, yo, the only reason why I got this is because it had this flavoring in it, and I was expecting to have these flavors in it, and it is not apparent. So yeah, and unfortunately they did add it, so I don't know, they gotta change it up. I mean, yo, I will be a taste tester. I'm happy to taste. I think I have a pretty cultured palate. Yeah, I'm ready. I'll sign up. So yeah. So in that experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're expecting it, it's not there, you gotta go back. Now, if you haven't tasted your coffee yet and you're driving 20 minutes, well, that's a whole nother story for you, because then now I'm thinking, why are you driving 20 minutes to get a coffee? And two, aren't you thirsty? So wouldn't you want to take a sip after 20 minutes? So anyway, yeah, so just speak it up. But it's funny because I think, some people, they just leave it and think, well, it's fine. It kind of tastes okay, but I have to do other things today. I don't have time to go back, so I'm just going to deal with it. Like, this is how people think because of our busy lives. And I feel like it's going to be getting busier again because of everything opening up. So it's going to get crazy. So what I would recommend is taste it before you leave the coffee shop, before you drive away, so you have time to get back in line, or not even in line, like, yo, I just got this, you need to fix this ASAP, bitches. So, hey, yo, watch out, my friends. But yeah, I mean, think about it. You're the customer. The server, the barista, whoever, they got to deliver, and they got to deliver right. So what's the problem? And they'd be happy to remake it for you. Really, in their mind, they're like, oh, fuck. They're coming back in like, this guy was just here. Now what does he want? So many things. But what about hair in your food? Ew. Especially when you're so hungry. Like, you're getting hangry at this point. You have your beer, your wine, maybe some sangria. Everything is just going well and dandy. You get an appetizer, some chips and guac. And so now you're just waiting for your entree to pop out. And so it finally comes out. The server comes over, places it down on the table, and you're drooling. You're just ready to devour it. And then, as you're cutting your piece of chicken, there is a black hair. Yeah. Why a black hair, you ask? Because it's even nastier. I mean, who has seen a blonde hair? Nah. It just doesn't exist. It's almost like against the law to do that. So just find all the black hairs you can find and throw them in your entree. Oh gosh, but truly, that's one where I'm always raising my hand for because, and no, not the black hairs, but to flag it and to speak up to your server, or even somewhere nearby, maybe that's not your server that could maybe help you out. Because that is just gross. You don't know where that's been, when it appear. Did it appear as you put it on the table? Was it happening, back in the kitchen? And, or was it in the middle when they were like cooking your food and it touched every single part of your entree, your spinach, your sun-dried tomatoes, the pine nuts, the mozzarella, maybe the cream, it's mixed in there to make it a creamy dish. So now it's literally seen everything, and you wouldn't be touching that. Ugh, it's just disgusting. Like, who wants that? So, and it was just kind of made me think of that movie with the restaurant. I think this is probably like 10 plus years ago. And you get like that feel of everyone that works in a restaurant and, behind the scenes of the kitchen and the cooking, the chopping. And I'm pretty sure Dane Cook is in it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I'm really like pulling this out of like my brain, left field of my brain. So if you're saying yes, I do know what you're talking about, then I'm saying yes. That is correct. But if you remember the movie, let me know. I feel like it was also called like Restaurant, like something very basic. But yeah, but again, some people, they'll just take it out and put it in their napkin and they're fine with that. They're fine. But like, are you fine with that? Like what part of your brain is saying, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Maybe I'll even get some dandruff in that black hair. Yeah, delightful. I'll just top it off. Cherry on top of my entree, right? Oh, just talking about it, I'm like gagging. Oh my gosh. But that, yeah, no. And yeah, speaking about hair, what about getting your hair cut? You just left the salon and now you're driving home, but like, how there's different lightings in the salon, or maybe, you're not looking as closely and you get home and maybe you want to send a pic to your friends or family, like, hey, I got my new haircut, look at it. And then you realize the back of your head, that one strand of hair is like slightly longer than the rest. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, I know. But at that point, like, you're walking around like this. Okay, let's take out the remote work, right? But you're still like going out and about now, things being open. And I mean, you want to look good. Bopping around town, getting your coffee. Hopefully it's good. But that's one of the things, like, you have to go back. And like, it sucks because like, I know for myself, I drive like about 25 minutes to get my hair cut back in Newtown Square because I love it. But hey, do what I gotta do, right? And one of my girlfriends, like, this is like something that, she doesn't like a lot of conflict and isn't one to like go back. And she was texting us about like her haircut. And so she lives in Philly. And so she, walks everywhere. And so she was like, she just left and she like had already noticed that yeah, there's like this one piece of hair that was a little bit longer than the rest. So, and she like was debating what to do, and I thought, why are you debating? Like, turn yourself around. Go back. Because we even asked her, like, well, how far are you away, like, from the hair salon now? And she's like, oh, it's like a 5-minute walk. I'm like, 5 minutes? Stop talking to us. So, but I think she was glad that we kind of like nudged her, like, yeah, you should get this, taken care of, because it's like, you're the customer, like, do you want me to write a bad Yelp review? Nah, they don't want that. They want like 5 stars, right? They don't want no 1 star or 0 stars, if you can even do that. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, again, this is on your head. So something to think about. And yeah, and then also one of my other girlfriends, she was getting balayage, and it may have been like one of the first times maybe she gotten it, or in fact maybe in a while. So she was saying how she was kind of hoping it was going to be a little bit more blonde, and because she was showing me the picture, and I was like, yeah, like it looks nice, but if you're expecting one thing in your mind and it comes out a different way, or you want a little bit more, then call them back up. Because I think her hairstylist, like, they had kind of like an open communication, like when she was leaving, like, oh, like, let me know what you think, and so my friend, she ended up calling the place back, and she went like in later that week to get it redone, and just adding a little bit more color. And so she was like so much like more happier that she got it fixed, and it was like nice and bright blonde, and so because yeah, it's like you're spending, especially with highlights, like you're spending a little bit of money, you're dropping some dollar bills, people. So you want to get it right. And how about also just getting your nails done nowadays? I mean, I think for a while, like, some people kind of avoided it just because of COVID and whatnot, and maybe just did like a pedi, like, oh, you're just touching my feet, right? But this is like another example too, where it's like, hello, like, you look at your end result of your nails, and maybe the color like wasn't as what like you were expecting, or the nails are a little bit more square than round, or whatever it is, or you're really looking close and you see like part of your nail actually isn't like painted on, or like they like kind of missed a little bit. So here is your chance, because what? I mean, who was paying for this? You're paying for this, people. You are. So, and you may think, well, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. You're paying for it. I mean, your mom or dad isn't paying for it. Your grandma isn't paying for it. I mean, if she is, let me know when you're going so I can get on that tab, I mean, yeah, the woman next year, whoever, like, they don't want me picking up your tab. Like, fuck that. It's costing me extra money for what? So yeah, I mean, all good and fine. And I think especially too, it probably really is like maybe a higher rate of like getting it fixed, possibly if you're just getting a manicure, because manicures like that just chips as you walk out the door. So that's why I like to stick to the gel. Sticking to the gel, my friends. But yeah, and I don't go that often. But when I do go, I'll get the gel, and then I'll have to wait for it to dry. So then I, avoid that situation of having my nails get chipped. Yeah, I get chipped. So that is what's up. And And then, yeah, so I feel like some of my other experience too have just been more food related. So this other time I remember going up the street to Salad Works, like right on Ridge and yeah, I just wanted to create my own salad like I normally do with start up with the base and you want mixed greens, romaine or pasta. I mean, who is getting a base of pasta? Yo, let me tell you, I have seen it. I've seen it in having worked at Salad Works about 16 years ago or however old I am now. So, yeah. So I was like, I'm going to get some turkey. So they put this like little bit of turkey on. I thought, hello. I was like, can you put like a little bit more turkey on it? And from in having worked at Salad Works, I remember like if you were getting double meat, like it was an extra like $1 practically. And I thought, oh my God, are they going to charge me another $1? But the amount that they put on originally was like probably like an ounce. And I thought, I'm going to be hungry in like 2 hours. Like I need protein to hold me over. Like, come on, people. So yeah, perfect example. It's like if you want more, you want something altered, like speak up. Do it. I mean, because why aren't you doing it? Is my question. Because yeah, you're the one that's going to be eating this. So you decide. I do also remember another time we were out in the city, downtown, at City Tap in Logan Square for Matt's aunt's birthday. So this was 2019. And yeah, kind of like what I was saying before about like one ingredient that kind of sticks out and like you order it because of that. So maybe like bacon, avocado, So I was getting this salad. I know, another salad story. And I saw it had avocado and I was like, yes, like I need it. And that was like one of the reasons why I got it. And sure, like, yeah, I'm sure I could have added to it, like, oh, excuse me, my voice is getting a little raspy. But I don't know, I loved like everything else that was in the salad, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna get it. And so, we got our appetizers, we're hanging out, we're cheersing, having good conversation. And then the entree comes out, and I'm like looking around for my avocado, and I'm like, what? Because now I'm like, did it have avocado listed? Now you start to think, and it's like, did I imagine that? But I'm like, no, I am 99.9% sure that there's supposed to be avocado in this shit. And I'm like looking around my fork, like underneath the spinach, not there. Like maybe they chopped it up into cubes. And I'm like, it's not here. I was like, mad they forgot the avocado. And so then the server came around. I'm like, yo, dude, where is this at? So they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. So they brought out a side, like this little like small plate with the side of like sliced avocado. Yeah. So I got it, but it's not the same. I mean, not quite. So, hey, yo, another great example. Now, here's a brewery one. So we were at the Shore at the end of last year of 2020 with Matt's family. We were at Ocean City, and we were at a brewery, and actually, I lied. This was not a brewery. I was imagining it was, but it was actually a restaurant. But it was like an outdoor bar, which was a town over from Ocean City. So you guys are like killing me. Like, what are you talking about? So, anywho, I had ordered an IPA. And it was like, the fall. So it was some kind of like fall IPA. I was like, wow, like this is going to be great. Like little bites to it. And slash like an Oktoberfest, like all mixed together. And so now I'm looking at it and I was like, this looks like an Oktoberfest beer and it tastes like it too. And so Matt had the same one and I'm like, what did you order? And he's like, yeah, the blah, blah, blah IPA. I was like, this is not an IPA. I've had enough beer in my life where, So, I mean, I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but then, we were getting ready to get a second beer, and I just had said something to the bartender, and I'm like, I think you have, the taps switched. So, because this is not a IPA. So, and then you think, you want to be considered of like the other people that are getting this beer. So I'm doing them a favor. I mean, who knows how long they've had this switched for? Like this could have been all night. I know. So I felt proud of myself. I was just saying, hey, yo, this is what's going on. You gotta fix this. But good stuff right there. I mean, have you ever gotten a wrong beer or like you thought it was? And you're like, well, I'm not really sure what this is supposed to taste like. And then you're like, well, whatever, I'll leave it. Yeah. Don't leave it. Just get a new one. I mean, especially like if you only took a sip, like they're not going to make you pay for like another like draft beer. Now, if you drank half of this beer, yeah, you're probably just going to have to pay for another one, but I don't know. Yeah, so that's just some of my experiences and thoughts about. Don't think that, oh my gosh, like I'm going to create a scene and create all this conflict I don't want and I'm sweating and stressing about it. Like, okay, take it down a notch. You're being a little dramatic. Just go back, and as long as you're polite and friendly or whatever, sure, you may be frustrated in the moment, but when you go back up there, like you might want to be a little bit nice so you ensure like that you get what you want, because then they're just going to give you something else that's not so great or something else that's wrong. So speak up, because at this point it's like you can only gain something now. Like, what have you got to lose? And that's how I live by. That is how I live by. So I do want to hear your stories. So go to thebigdanepodcast.com/contact. Send me a little note to the Big Dane and just stay on there, and you can toggle over to the podcast section and listen to my other episodes on your preferred platform. And yes, YouTube is there, my friends, for select episodes where I video record them, and it'll be, only once or twice a month, just because there's lots of involved with the video situation and lots of editing and rearranging and uploading, and you can imagine. So hey, yo. But would definitely love to do more of the video episodes if it was some kind of quicker way. Like, I feel like I'd have to like hire someone, which I don't really have time to do that right now. But anywho, hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell all your friends or family, and tell me some of your experiences. So have a great rest of the week. All right. Peace out.